suddenly single. What the hell do I mean by that? Most people associate like age gap relationships or men and women out here in the Philippines as the man dying first and the woman being left alone or a widow. But Bud and I are going to discuss what if the opposite were to happen? What if he was to lose his spouse or I was to lose mine? How would we react? And more importantly, how would we deal with it? That's what we're going to discuss in the upcoming video. All right, well, I am back with my buddy Bud Brown. Bud, say hi to everybody, please.
Hi.
And we're going to talk about a topic that I don't think's ever been spoken about before.
I haven't heard it.
And it came to my attention, actually a couple of years ago, it came across my radar when I bought a little piece of land for my wife. And they were drawing up all of the paperwork and they put in her name and my name. And as I was reviewing the paperwork, I said, what does this mean here? And the lawyer told me, well, that's your right of survivorship if something happens to your wife. And that never occurred to me.
Yeah.
Because we have a 30-year age gap. So it's been in my head since day one that if anybody's going to leave the planet, it's going to be me.
First, yeah.
And then I got to thinking about it, which was a horrible thought. But what if something happened to my wife?
Yeah.
And you've been married how many years?
54.
54 years. I've been married. Third year anniversary is tomorrow. Yay, but we've been together for 6. And I got to wondering, because I've noticed a couple of friends of mine, mutual friends that we know, have gone their separate ways with different, and that happens. You know, people get together, people fall apart.
That's right.
Or move apart, or move on, or get on with their lives, and they agree to disagree, and that's that.
Yeah.
So I got to wondering, and I've seen how they've reacted to being single again. And I got to thinking, what would I do if tomorrow, God forbid, I was single? Or tomorrow, God forbid, something happened to your wife?
Yeah.
Can I ask you to share your thoughts? If this is an ugly subject, but I just think it's something that
I mean,
it needs to be talked about because
Yeah.
it's a possibility over here. So you're a married man for half a decade, and right?
Yeah.
And your wife is like a part of you.
Yeah.
Same way my wife is a part of me, like one of my limbs or something.
Right.
So if something happened to Gloria tomorrow, what would be your MO? I mean, would you start looking for somebody else after a while, or you just?
Yeah. No. Well, as a prelogue to that, and I know, I'm assuming in most guys my age, 70s and up, have to realize that we're not going to be on this earth a whole lot longer ourselves. And in my case, my wife is about the same age I am. So we have to think about the end of life procedures, or what's going to happen. So we've been considering what to do. In our case, we're going to be cremated, and we're having that. And just as a little bit of a side, there's 2 crematoriums here in Dumaguete. One's called the Haven. It's in the the cemetery, and the other one is called Eterna, which is along the highway there. So anybody that's interested in that, you can go in there. And I'll just throw out, it's about $800 for cremation.
And to go ahead, and it's frugal, or not frugal, but it would be, we'd be a little reticent if we didn't go ahead and prepay for that, and get that organized, especially me, because of the situation with my wife and I having the age gap.
Right.
But it still brings me around to the question, if you lost your wife tomorrow, what would happen to Bud Brown?
Yeah. Well, although it's a horrible thing for me to think of, and I try to keep my emotions down, when I talk about living without somebody that I haven't lived with, or over half a century. I'm not sure if I would stick around here in Dumaguete.
Really?
You know, I love Dumaguete. I really do.
Sure.
Anybody that knows me would know that, hey, this is my home.
I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think maybe to get away, I don't know if this is a human thing to run away from, you know, everything has been familiar to me. But I would probably see places that I haven't seen before, just to have a new start, a new life, although she will always be, you know, in my heart. I have no intention whatsoever as far as having a female relationship.
It would be a zero.
It was zero, yeah.
I completely understand it.
Yeah, but as far as just being a single man, I would probably go Southeast Asia. I like this part of the world, you know, and so that's what I'm thinking. When I force myself to think, you know, I would, and we don't have property, we don't own a house, and so it was easy for me to take off, and maybe I would be disappointed, and maybe I would never be happy again. I don't know. I know I would never have the same relationship again, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But as far as traveling, I'm thinking of you know, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, even Europe. You know.
Well, would that be your MO because that's something you've always wanted to do, but with Gloria, it's not been possible?
To a small degree, yeah. Yeah.
What's the main degree? Is it to get away from the memories?
Yeah, I think so. To get away from the memory, even though very good memories, but I would be. I feel that we've been together so long that I would be incapacitated being here where she is in every memory here. You know, I go here, there I see her. I go there, I see her. I go home, of course, I see her.
Yeah.
So I would have to get. Now, I have gone to places before where even we're married, but you know, she didn't go with me,
Right.
and that's a different thing altogether.
Right.
I went to Vietnam before. I'm not talking about way back, but I mean, as just a little vacation. She wasn't with me. I enjoyed myself. But there's a lot of places that I think I would like to go. But if anybody were to ask me, are you do you have any what's the word I'm looking for? Any regrets or any hard feelings because you can't go somewhere because your wife won't go with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could go here, but I can't.
She's holding me back.
She's holding me back.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't enter my mind at all.
Right.
But there are places that I dream about, you know, that I had daydreams and she's very good about letting me go. Like I am actually planning a trip to Vietnam in a few months in the future. Fine, she go ahead. But in this situation that you're talking about, I would go to get away from seeing her, the place that I normally see her now, although I have, of course, her memories in my heart and in my mind.
What would be, this is probably maybe impossible to answer because it would probably never end,
Yeah.
but the grieving process.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I've heard, when I've heard about this subject online by people that deal with these kind of things, psychiatrists and whatnot, that are trying to help people through grief counseling.
Yeah.
That there's about a year or so, and you know, time heals all wounds and all that kind of stuff.
I've heard that.
Have you got any kind of thoughts on that? Like, would you, the first week, of course, you'd be devastated.
Yeah.
There's supposedly 7 different stages of anger and whatnot that people go through when they lose someone.
Yeah.
What do you think your process would be? Would it be a year-long thing before you felt like, okay, I can pick up and start doing a little traveling now, or would it be right away, or you don't know?
Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's different between someone who's been married a year, 5 years, 10
Yes.
years,
Yes.
20 years, but 50, 40 years, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't, and there have been times when I say to myself, when she goes, I'm going.
Really.
I have no desire to be here without her.
Isn't that
That thought
something?
has crossed my mind. Yeah, it really has. Because I mean, she's 21 and I was 22, and now we're in our 70s, getting to be late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
What more? Why would I? Well, I was going to say, why would I want to live if she's not in my life? But that's a little bit too.
Well, that just facilitates or verifies how much joy and
Yeah.
completion she brings into your life.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
she's your unicorn. Yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure, man. That's for sure. And you know her.
I know her
And
very well.
She loves Paul. Paul loves her.
We love each other to
And
death.
yeah, she's a unicorn.
Brotherly, sisterly love.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And so yeah, and Paul had told me that this is a subject he would like to discuss, and I I told him that I would try, but the thought of not living without her, it's going to be hard to do. It's hard to
Yeah.
do.
Do you need a break?
How about you talk about your?
Okay, because Bud's gotten to get to well up a little here, which I fully understand, and I told him I'd turn the camera off if we ever needed to. My thoughts on it are different than yours, as far as the travel thing and all that. I can look you in the blues and say my travel days are pretty much over.
Oh,
I'm tired of airports.
yeah,
I've pretty much done what I needed to do.
Yeah.
I've been here, I've been there, and I don't see any real need or desire or draw to go back to Vietnam or go back to Thailand or go back to Indonesia.
Yeah.
I've kind of went there to see it. I saw it.
Yeah.
I did it. It's done. And unless there was just some real burning desire to go back for some reason, but I haven't got one.
yeah,
And so I am, I've become, for me, I've gone from a guy that when I landed here, I wasn't a woman hater, but I came here only for financial freedom.
ah,
Where so many guys, you say, why did you come here? They say, for the women,
Yeah.
And for me, that was the last thing on my mind. I was positive that I would not get involved with another woman just due to past experiences with, previous marriage.
yeah,
And so I said, I'm not going to put myself through that again. Obviously, I don't have the ability to pick the right person. And so that was never on my radar when I first came over here. And then over time, I spent a couple of years and I was hanging out with women, dated a few here and there, but it wasn't a big priority or a big portion of my life.
yeah,
But one thing that did happen was my heart softened towards my attitude towards entertaining the idea of another one-on-one relationship. I think it's normal for men and women to be together. I really do. And I love the idea of an exclusive relationship as opposed to, the butterfly,
Right.
going to
Right.
pollinate this flower and that
Open
one and that
relationship.
one, or open relationships. That doesn't appeal to me at all. And so, like you, I feel like I found a unicorn in
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
And you know her very well.
Yeah.
And I think you
Sweetheart.
agree with that statement, that she's not what we see a lot of other guys getting involved with. I don't know if I should say it, that type of woman, but so many of them happen so fast and rush in and all that kind of stuff. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, great. But there was something very unique about her. And I have found that in my day-to-day life, I didn't realize it until recently, but how much her
got a
mood,
mosquito right there.
got him.
Got him. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Any reason to touch me.
Yeah, a mosquito or a mole or something.
Anything.
Go ahead.
Just how my mood is affected by her mood. And when she's unhappy,
Yeah,
not necessarily with me, but she's just unhappy
yeah,
or sad or not feeling well, how it by osmosis, it sort of seeps into my blood. And so when she's down with a migraine or something, I always just stay home.
yeah,
You know, I don't do anything.
yeah,
You know, I just
yeah,
give her some water or bring her
yeah.
something or make her some food. And then when she's super happy, I find it, which is normal, I find that elevates my spirits.
Yeah.
And so I think about it, if she was to leave tomorrow, as I posed to you,
Yeah.
there would be a very, very long grieving period for me. I wouldn't leave Dumagetti. I consider this my home. I'm comfortable here. I have a rhythm set up. But I can tell you, as a single guy, I would suddenly, I would not be at all interested in playing the field, I guess they call it, or
Yeah.
getting back into the swing of things,
Yeah.
or anything else. I'm 71 years old. I'm ingrained, I think, pretty well into the culture out here. And when I meet women, I've got 8 years experience of meeting them all day long. We just met a subscriber before we
Yeah.
started the video, and he had
Yeah.
his girlfriend with him. He's a
Yeah.
very nice lady.
Yeah.
But I have this little sixth sense that's been developed over the years here, that I can size up a female and a male within about 5 minutes and kind of know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I would probably take a lot of respite and relief in having some female friends that I could talk to about my grief.
Yeah.
And I could, more than a man, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because women are just simply more compassionate, and they understand emotional feelings more. They're more sympathetic. They're more open-minded. And they would lend that ear that I may need at that time to express myself and grieve, and possibly tears and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that would be the only woman that I would be seeking out.
Yeah.
Would be a woman that would, be wanting to sit and talk and just hear me out, and maybe, give me a pat on the back and say it'll get better. And I'm so sorry for you, and this and that and the other. But honest to God, I cannot fathom going through this whole dating scene thing again. And I don't even know I hear about things like Tinder where you can swipe left or right. And I go, what was swipe for? I mean, what happened to just meeting somebody and saying hi? You know?
You don't look like your profile on Tinder.
No. Woman says she's 30 years old and the Hindenburg is crashing behind her in the photo. I mean, that's
I know.
I think that's a
photos make you look fatter, you know. And,
so just the whole idea of that dating to me would be like agony. And especially in the Philippines, where you got the language communication and all these barriers and all their little nuances and things like that takes time to get used to. So no, there is definitely a difference. I'll kind of end the video, I guess, on this, because it is kind of an unpleasant topic.
going down fast.
We're trying to hold ourselves together emotionally here.
I know.
But I think that I forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying?
I wasn't paying attention anyway.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Well, we'll just end it here, I guess. Nobody's watching anyway.
I know.
It's past the 5-minute mark. They've all bailed out.
They don't know there's a two-way.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Now that there's two
Go ahead.
people left, me and Bud, when we watch the replay, there's definitely, I think, a big difference between the guy like me that came out for financial reasons and the guy that came out for the proverbial women.
Yeah.
I think the guys like me that came out for the financial
Yeah.
stress-free life because we can live on our Social Security check and not sweat the small stuff and have no bills and no overhead, and we have that.
Yeah.
And then there's that dude that came out here to meet the woman.
Yeah.
And maybe he met her, dated her, maybe they were married for 10 years.
Yeah.
But I still think he's got that instinct in him to look for the woman.
Yeah.
You know, it's what he came for.
Yeah.
Well, this one's gone. So let's say she passed away, God forbid. But if she did, I'm sure he would have his grieving process.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be much time between him hopping on the horse and riding down the street and seeing if he can rescue a damsel in distress. And put her on the back of the horse with him and ride off into the sunset happily ever after.
Yeah.
I think that's the personality deal. I think that's what it is. Yours is much easier to comprehend because of the time that you guys have been together.
Yeah.
You met when you're both in your 20s.
Yeah.
And you met and you've been together for like 50 some odd years.
Yeah.
And if something happened to her, you guys are such a unit now after 50 some odd
Yeah.
years
I mean, come on.
that you said, you know, you may just end it too. What's the point of even waking up without her being in my life?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's the Romeo and Juliet right there. There's the love story of, you know, of the century here.
I
You
think
and
we're
Gloria.
a third category on that because when you're talking about that, I'm saying to myself, did we come out here for financial? I sure didn't come out for women. So I thought, well, you know what? A little bit of financial, but we wanted, because they're retired, we wanted to get back into the culture.
Yeah.
And so we came here. Of course, the finances helped, but it wasn't the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we jump into the culture, and you know me,
Good point.
grassroots,
Right.
and Gloria's backing her people.
Yep, yeah, yeah.
You know, and I have good memories of being in the military and enjoying the coconut trees and the atmosphere and just the whole ambience, and everything. And that's kind of the reason that we came here, and it turned out to be a good thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one final question is, you think that you would leave Dumageddon?
Pretty sure I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would just maybe spend your time bouncing,
Bouncing.
not settling down particularly in any one place,
That's
except for
right.
maybe 6 months at a time,
Uh-huh.
whatever the visa allowed you to stay.
Right.
And that would be,
I think
that would be healthy for you. Now that I'm thinking about it, not just because you would get away from the memories, but because it would occupy your time.
occupy me.
Because
yes.
you can sit around and if, like myself, I know myself, I would sit at home alone and dwell on it.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. That's just me. That's how I am. And then eventually I would get, through that process of grieving and then get back out into the world.
Yeah.
But like I said, it would be similar to yours without the travel. I would still get out and hang out with my friends or go to lunch or, play with my dogs or whatever it is that I do.
Yeah.
And so I think that's that. All right, well, guys, you're welcome to leave a comment if you like, if you've hung in with that long. And but it's always a pleasure to have you on the channel.
My pleasure,
brother.
Paul. Always,
You know what?
always, my brother.
My main man right here, in case you guys
My
haven't
main
figured
man.
that out. We'll see you guys in the next video.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.